Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to tell you a very special story. Imagine a young man. He is not old, he is not rich at the start, but he dreams very big. He wants to see the world. He wants to win every battle. And one day, he leads an army. He crosses mountains, he crosses deserts, he meets new people and new cultures. He never loses a single battle. Can you believe that some people call him a hero? Some people think he wanted too much, but everyone agrees on one thing. He was not normal. He was extraordinary. His name was Alexander. Today we call him Alexander the Great. So what made him so powerful? What helped him win again and again? Stay with me, and we will discover his journey together. If you enjoy learning English through stories like this, please subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us make more simple and useful lessons for you. This story is based on historical books and trusted sources about Alexander's life, so you can learn with confidence and truth. Alexander was born in the year 356 before Christ. He was born in a place called Macedonia. It was a small but strong kingdom in ancient Greece. His father was King Philip. He was a powerful and smart ruler. His mother was Queen Olympias. She was very strong in spirit. She believed in gods and legends. From a young age, Alexander heard many stories. His mother told him about heroes. She told him about Achilles. She said he had special blood. She said he was not like other boys. Alexander believed her words. He felt different. He felt chosen. His father also had big dreams. King Philip wanted to build a great empire. He wanted his son to be strong. He trained Alexander like a future king. Alexander grew up in a royal family, but his life was not soft. He learned to fight. He learned to lead. He learned to be brave. These early years shaped his mind. They made him confident. They made him fearless. They prepared him for a very big future. When Alexander was a young boy, something very special happened. His father bought a wild horse. The horse was big. The horse was strong. The horse was very dangerous. No one could ride it. Many men tried. Many men failed. The horse was afraid. The horse was angry. People started to laugh. They thought the horse was useless. But Alexander did not laugh. He watched quietly. He looked carefully. He studied the horse. He saw something different. He saw something no one else saw. The horse was not bad. The horse was afraid of its own shadow. That was the real problem. Alexander understood this. He moved slowly. He spoke in a calm voice. He turned the horse toward the sun. Now the shadow was gone. The horse became quiet. The horse became calm. Step by step, Alexander came closer. Then he jumped on the horse. He did not hesitate. He rode it with confidence. The horse ran fast, but Alexander stayed strong. Everyone was shocked. No one could believe it. His father was very proud. He said his son was too great for a small kingdom. The horse's name was Bucephalus. It became Alexander's best friend. This moment showed his true ability. He was brave. He was smart. He was different. Alexander had a very special teacher. His name was Aristotle. He was one of the greatest thinkers in history. Many people respected him. Many people learned from him. And now he would teach Alexander. This was not a normal lesson. This was not a normal school. Aristotle taught him how to think. He taught him how to ask questions. He taught him how to understand the world. Alexander learned about philosophy. He learned about science. He learned about medicine. He learned about animals and nature. He listened carefully. He learned quickly. He was always curious. He always wanted more knowledge. He was not lazy. He was not bored. He loved learning every day. He also loved reading books. His favorite book was the Iliad. It was a story about heroes and war. He read it again and again. He dreamed about being a hero. He wanted to be brave. He wanted to be remembered. Even later, when he went to war, he carried books with him. That showed his mind was always growing. These lessons changed him deeply. They gave him knowledge. They gave him vision. They gave him a big dream. He did not just want to be a king. He wanted to do something great. He wanted to change the world. When Alexander was 16 years old, his life changed again. His father, King Philip, went away to fight a war. Before leaving, he gave Alexander a big responsibility. He left him in charge of the kingdom. This was not easy. He was still very young. Many people did not trust him. Many people thought he was too inexperienced. But Alexander did not feel afraid. He stayed calm. He believed in himself. Soon a problem came. Some tribes in the north attacked Macedonia. They thought a young boy could not defend the land. They thought it would be easy to win. But they were wrong. Alexander acted quickly. He gathered his army. He gave clear orders. He marched north with confidence. He did not wait. He did not hide. He faced the enemy directly. The battle was hard, but Alexander was strong. His soldiers followed him. They trusted him. In the end, Alexander won. It was his first real victory. He was only 16 years old. This moment was very important. It showed that he was not just a prince. He was a leader. He was brave. He was decisive. When King Philip returned, he was very proud. He saw his son had grown. He saw a future king. From that moment, everyone started to believe in Alexander. When Alexander was 20 years old, something terrible happened. His father, King Philip, was killed. It happened at a wedding. It was sudden. It was shocking. The whole kingdom was afraid. No one expected this. And now Alexander had to become king. He was very young. Many people did not trust him. Many people wanted power. Some wanted to take the throne from him. Some cities wanted to break away. They thought Alexander was weak. They thought he could not control the kingdom. But Alexander did not wait. He acted fast. He acted strong. He knew this was a dangerous moment. If he showed weakness, he would lose everything. So he gathered his army. He marched to the rebel cities. He showed his power. He reminded them of his father's victories. Most cities became quiet. They accepted him as king. But one city refused. That city was Thebes. The people of Thebes fought back. It was a big mistake. Alexander attacked the city. His army destroyed it. It was a hard decision, but it sent a clear message. Do not challenge Alexander. After this, no one dared to fight him. He was now the true king. He was strong. He was feared. He was ready for something bigger. Now Alexander was the king. But he did not want to stop. He had a bigger dream. He remembered his father's plan. His father wanted to conquer Persia. Persia was the greatest empire at that time. It was rich. It was powerful. It had many soldiers. Many people were afraid of Persia. But Alexander was not afraid. He believed in himself. He believed in his army. He believed he could win. So he made a bold decision. He would attack Persia. He would challenge the strongest empire in the world. In the year 334 before Christ, Alexander began his journey. He took his army across the sea. This place was called the Hellespont. It was a big moment. There was no turning back. He had about 40,000 soldiers. The Persian army was much larger, but Alexander did not care. He trusted his strategy. He trusted his men. He moved forward with confidence. Soon he faced his first big battle. It was at a river called Granicus. The enemy was waiting on the other side. The river was deep and fast. His generals were worried. They told him to wait. They said it was too dangerous. But Alexander made a different choice. He moved forward. He led the attack himself. He showed courage. He showed leadership. And this was only the beginning. The battle at the river was very intense. The water was deep. The current was strong. But Alexander did not stop. He rode his horse into the river. His soldiers followed him without fear. They trusted their leader. When they reached the other side, the fight began. The Persian army was ready. They attacked with force. It was a dangerous moment. Alexander was in the front line. He did not hide behind his soldiers. He fought like a warrior. During the battle, something almost ended his life. A Persian soldier struck his head. It was a powerful hit. But Alexander wore a strong helmet. It saved him. In that moment, his friend Clytus came. He killed the enemy soldier. He saved Alexander's life. The fight continued. The Macedonian army pushed forward. Step by step they gained control. The Persians began to lose. They started to run away. In the end, Alexander won the battle. It was his first great victory in Asia. This victory opened a new path. Now more cities were afraid of him. Some cities did not fight. They opened their gates. They welcomed him. Alexander did not just win battles. He moved smartly. He captured important cities near the sea. He blocked the Persian navy. He was not only brave, he was also very strategic. This was just the beginning of something much bigger. After this victory, Alexander did not stop. He continued to move forward. He traveled along the coast. He captured many cities. Some cities were afraid. They opened their gates. They welcomed him without a fight. But some cities resisted. They tried to stop him. Those cities were destroyed. Alexander was both kind and strict. He rewarded those who accepted him. He punished those who fought him. This made his power grow quickly. Step by step, he controlled more land. He also thought very carefully. He knew the Persian navy was strong, so he captured important ports. Without ports, the Persian ships could not move easily. This was a smart plan. He was not just a fighter. He was a great strategist. One day he arrived at a place called Gordium. There was a famous knot. It was called the Gordian knot. It was very complex. No one could untie it. There was a legend. It said the man who could solve the knot would rule Asia. Many people tried. Everyone failed. Alexander looked at the knot. He thought for a moment. Then he did something surprising. He took out his sword. He cut the knot in half. He did not follow the rules. He made his own way. People were shocked, but they also understood. Alexander was different. He did not accept limits. He created his own path. In the year 333 before Christ, Alexander faced a great challenge. He met the Persian king Darius III in a huge battle. This battle was called Issus. It was very important. Darius had a very large army. Some people say he had hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Alexander had far fewer men. Many people thought he could not win. But Alexander was calm. He studied the land. He saw something important. The battlefield was narrow. The Persian army was too big. They could not move easily. This gave Alexander an advantage. He made a bold plan. He led his cavalry forward. He attacked directly toward Darius. It was very dangerous. But it was also very smart. His soldiers followed him. They moved fast. They broke through the enemy lines. Darius saw Alexander coming closer. He became afraid. He turned his chariot. He ran away from the battle. When the Persian soldiers saw their king run, they lost hope. They also ran away. The battle was over. Alexander had won again. It was a huge victory. After the battle, he captured Darius's family. But he did something surprising. He treated them with respect. He did not hurt them. This showed his character. He was strong, but he could also be kind. This victory made him even more powerful. After this great victory, Alexander had a choice. He could go directly to the center of Persia. He could chase Darius III again. But he made a different decision. He turned his army to the south. He wanted to control the coast first. He wanted to weaken the Persian power step by step. This was a smart move. He entered the land of Phoenicia. He captured many important cities. One of them was very strong. It was called Tyre. This city was on an island. It was very hard to attack, but Alexander did not give up. He built a road into the sea. He moved his army forward. After many months, he finally captured the city. This showed his patience. This showed his determination. After that, he moved to Egypt. The people there welcomed him. They did not like Persian rule. They saw Alexander as a hero. They called him a liberator. In Egypt, he was honored as a king. He was even called a god. This made him more confident. While he was there, he built a new city. He named it Alexandria. This city became very famous later. It became a center of learning and culture. Alexander was not just conquering land. He was building something bigger. He was creating a new world. In the year 331 before Christ, Alexander moved again. This time he went to the heart of Persia. Darius III was ready. He gathered a huge army. Some people said it was the biggest army ever. The battle took place near a place called Gaugamela. The land was flat and wide. Darius chose this place carefully. He wanted space for his chariots. He wanted to use his large army fully. Alexander saw the situation. His soldiers were nervous. They were afraid of the large enemy force. But Alexander stayed calm. He studied the battlefield. He made a clear plan. When the battle began, the Persians attacked first. They used chariots with sharp blades. It looked very dangerous. But Alexander's soldiers were ready. They opened gaps in their lines. The chariots passed through without damage. Then came the key moment. Alexander saw a weak point in the enemy line. He did not wait. He led his cavalry forward. They moved like an arrow, fast and direct. They broke through the Persian army. Once again Alexander moved toward Darius, and once again Darius ran away. When their king fled, the Persian army lost hope. They collapsed. It was a complete victory. After this battle, nothing could stop Alexander. After this great victory, Alexander became the ruler of Persia. He entered the great cities. He walked into Babylon. He walked into Susa. He walked into Persepolis. These cities were rich and beautiful. They were full of gold and treasure. Now they all belonged to him. Alexander had achieved his dream. He had defeated the greatest empire in the world. But he did not feel satisfied. He wanted more. He wanted to go further east. He wanted to reach the end of the world. So he continued his journey. He led his army through mountains. He crossed hot deserts. He faced new enemies. These were not like the Persians. They fought in different ways. The land was also harder. It was dangerous and unknown. Still, Alexander did not stop. He kept moving forward. He founded new cities. Many of them were called Alexandria. He wanted to spread his culture. He wanted to connect different lands. But his soldiers were tired. They had been away from home for many years. They missed their families. They missed their lives. They were no longer excited. They were exhausted. But Alexander still had ambition. He still wanted to continue. This created tension. The king wanted to move forward, but his army was reaching its limit. Finally, Alexander reached India. This was a new land. It was very different from everything before. The weather was hot. The land was wide and wild. The people fought in a new way. They used war elephants. These animals were huge. They were loud and powerful. Alexander had never seen them before. His soldiers were afraid. But Alexander stayed calm. He faced a strong king. His name was King Porus. The battle took place near a river. It was a very hard fight. The elephants charged forward. They broke the lines. They created fear. But Alexander did not give up. He changed his strategy. He attacked from the sides. He used speed and movement. Slowly, his army gained control. In the end, he won again. But this time was different. He respected King Porus. He saw his bravery. He did not punish him. He made him an ally. This showed Alexander's character. He could fight, but he could also respect his enemies. After this battle, something changed. His soldiers were tired. They had fought for many years. They had traveled very far. They missed their homes. They did not want to go further. They stood at a river. They refused to move. For the first time, Alexander could not lead them forward. Alexander was angry at first. He could not accept this decision. He went into his tent. He stayed there for days. He did not speak to anyone. He felt disappointed. He felt frustrated. He had a dream to go further, but now he had to stop. Slowly he understood his soldiers. They were tired. They were human. They had given everything. So Alexander made a hard choice. He agreed to turn back. This was the only time he did not get what he wanted. It was a moment of change. It showed that even a great leader must listen. The journey home was very difficult. The army crossed a hot desert. There was little water. There was little food. Many soldiers became weak. Many soldiers died. It was one of the hardest times in their lives. Finally, they returned to Babylon. Alexander planned new ideas. He wanted to build more. He wanted to explore more lands. But suddenly, he became sick. He had a high fever. Day by day he grew weaker. His soldiers came to see him. They were sad. They loved their king. Then, at the age of 32, Alexander died.